What is the definition of success? So what are you striving to achieve and why? Let's just have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded. The Chimp Paradox is an amazing book. The guy is a Geordie fella, or he's got a northeast accent, and he's called Steve Peters, and he is a psychiatrist. I mean, I guess that the bit I just wanted to share today was just 5 things that I've taken from it, really, and they're just snippets of advice that I remind myself on a daily basis. It's almost like a reset. But if there's 5 things that start the day off, and just have a little read through. So the first one's patience. So patience is a very, very wise and calming influence. It's the key to being happy, and it's the key to achieving. So patience is just a great quality. The second one is just about keeping things simple. That's one of my values as not just the way that I conduct myself in business, but in life, is just keep things simple. And I guess the next one, really, which is just a linking from that, is do a better job of fewer things. You know, and somebody asked me, I think it was, in terms of, what would be a piece of advice that you would give to your younger self? Looking back at from a career perspective and a workplace perspective, is do a better job of fewer things. And, that actually requires patience. And we've talked about this, but because it means that actually you've got to select things that can be done better, but actually you need to do a fantastic job of the most important things. So do a better job of fewer things. The fourth one is live in the moment and be conscious not to rush it, because that is life. Life is happening now, this second, and how many times have I and how many times have people either living in the past, worrying about what they've done, worrying about what people are thinking, or worried about the future and what might happen. And this is coming from somebody that fundamentally thinks that planning is one of the most important things that you can do. But it's one of the most important things because that moment will come along and you can enjoy it better if you've planned better. But live in the moment and be conscious not to rush it is just, I think, a great piece of advice to anybody. And the last one, you can be worried about how people have reacted or responded to something that you've done. And you can be creating these stories in your head. And the reality is, you're very probably just creating a story which is exaggerated. And in some instances, it's absolutely non-existent. And that can cause stress and strain because you're concerned about something, especially if it's constantly coming back in your mind. And that is something that I will constantly remind myself is that mind's a very powerful thing, and sometimes it can just blow things up out of all proportion. And like I say, many of those instances I will look back and think, well, why was I concerned about that? Or why was I concerned about how that person took that? Because it was exaggerated or it was non-existent. I wish I knew that, because it would have just been a lot more pleasant. And by the way, sometimes I've said things and it wasn't exaggerated and it certainly wasn't non-existent. But I did know at the time, at least. Yeah. Let's just have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded.